Google SEO tips on duplicate content. Google SEO tips for duplicate content. I want to cover today Google SEO tips regarding duplicate content. Hello there, my name is Chris Palmer. In today's Google SEO tips video, I'd like to share with you, does Google care about duplicate content? Now, more so, I want to answer this question coming in from CPG, and he asks this, or more so states this with a question. He says, two concerns, thoughts, ideas with this strategy is duplicate content of the articles. Will this mean any disregard in terms of showing to the forward-facing index? If so, please, how does it work? And we were talking about mass distribution of press releases, or for that matter, utilizing the same articles over a network. Say you're using a RSS feed, maybe you're utilizing IFTTT networks, perhaps you're utilizing maybe a mass backlinking tool like GSA or SEO Autopilot or any of these tools where they're kind of spinning up the content or just posting the same content. But with that being said, or even doing guest posts where you're using the same article, like if I'm linking out to the same sites and I'm utilizing the same content or duplicated content or spun content, that's the question here. Is there a way to vary out what links get indexed across each press release or each guest post or mass spinning, like mass production of backlinks? Also, would it be good to spread out the links to other assets like socials sometimes, or even the other press releases, for example? So this is an excellent question. I want to go ahead and thank you, CPG, for this question. So let's go ahead and touch on this. We're going to break it down because there's actually quite a few little questions here, right? So just to go ahead to further expand on this, one is duplicate content an issue? Okay, so that's going to be the very first one. Number two is, will this mean if I'm showing it to the forward-facing index? So how will Google treat it, like with a press release? With press release, how will Google treat the duplicate content, right? And it goes for the same with citations. Citations, right? Dupe content, like how does it treat it? Like what generally tends to happen? And then some best practices, okay? So that's really what we're going to dissect, all right? So duplicate content isn't an issue. So if you've done anything with duplicate content or know what duplicate content is, okay, especially when regarding a press release, we're going to say, or anything for that matter, duplicate content's duplicate content. What tends to happen is down at the bottom, it's not that it's not going to be in the forward-facing index, which is also known as the search results. There's two indexes, remember, forward-facing and then the main index. There's actually a buffer in between too, as per the patent says. But with that being said, what generally is going to happen is these particular duplicate contents are going to be what is called omitted from search results. Let me go ahead and give you an example of what I mean. All right, so let me go ahead and show you exactly what I mean by this. So let's take, for instance, that we have Chris Palmer. All right, I did one not too long ago regarding Chris Palmer SEO Consulting Brooklyn. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for the title. Okay, so here's what it is right here. New York SEO Consultant opens up new office in Brooklyn, which I did. So with that being said, we go ahead and we put that inside of here. All right, and if we scroll on down, generally it should say, take a look here. In order to show the most relevant results, we have omitted some entries very similar to the 44 that are already displayed. They've omitted some entries. Why? Because it's it's duplicated content. Now, to touch on the next step, all right, is duplicate content an issue? No. In order to beat this successfully and consistently, to beat this filter right here, the omitted, you need to have about 60% unique content. Now, I've seen lower and I've seen higher on both ends, but 60% seems to be a pretty roundabout figure. Okay, so with that being said, let's move on to the next part of this question. All right, so the next part of this question is, the first one was, is it an issue? Press releases, how does Google treat it? Google is going to admit a lot of the results. But with that being said, as you can see here, there's multiple others that are still there. all right? A lot of times they're still going to be in there. Now, how will the sort end up being when we're dealing with duplicate content, say with a press release or with citations? Generally, what tends to happen with the sort, if some results are omitted, even though they're omitted, I'm still getting the link power passed to my website. Also, just because those other ones are omitted, what generally tends to happen with the sort, right, in the SERP page, in the search engine results page, is the most authoritative domains are generally going to take the cake or the icing, right? They're going to lead up at the top, which is really beneficial for SEOs and for agencies or for your customers. Reason being is the most authoritative, best domains, when they do a search to go look for their press release that you issued, the best sites are going to show up first. Not only is that good for you, that's good for your client, and of course, it's good for Google. That's why they omit the other ones. Now, with the question being said about duplicate content and passing the power and the links and how should I link and where should I go to, irrelevant if you're doing duplicated content utilizing a citation, utilizing a press release, utilizing a guest post, mass link building, whatever you're doing, it's completely irrelevant where you should be linking to. Where you should be linking to, especially if it's going to be duplicated, is going to be the site or the page that you really are after. If you, for instance, let's take this as an example. We have a new location with a new landing page. We want to get some foundational link elements or some link equity to that page. So generally with a press release, to maximize power, or with a guest post or anything, you want to utilize two separate links. One going to the homepage almost always. Why? Because power trickles down, and we also want to assist the equity. We want to pass equity to the rest of the site. Also, we want to send power directly into the page that we want to rank. Why? Because that's the page that we want to rank. We want to get actual links going to that page containing the target anchor or partial of the anchor that we want to rank that page for. Let me give you a small example. If I have a page that's SEO Consulting New York, then I would want to have either New York, SEO Consulting, the word SEO, or the entire word as the words that are anchor text over to that page. Okay? That's what I mean by anchor text, in case maybe you have no idea what I'm talking about. So that pretty much takes me through. Let me just briefly cover this with you. I just want to make sure I cover this. Is duplicate content an issue? It is if you're stealing or taking content from someone else and not repurposing it or giving any type of added or extra value into the content. As far as your site is concerned, duplicate content is not an issue at all if you're utilizing it within your own site. If you're stealing it maliciously, then you could run into a problem. However, with that being said, that doesn't mean that it doesn't rank. It doesn't mean that it's not going to show up in search results. It doesn't even mean that it's going to be omitted. Let me show you an example. So let's take, for instance, a page. Let's say it's SEO Consulting, or better yet, Consultant, because there's search volume. SEO Consultant New York. Okay, let's just take that for instance. If you take a look at some of the lead performers for this particular search term, I believe this gentleman's up at the top. If you scroll on down, it's been moving up slowly but surely. If we take a look here for Chris, here's Chris's page. If we take a look at Chris's page, okay, and then you go, I'm not going to point it out, but if you go and look at the top performing website, boy, this content is eerily similar, okay? So can it rank? Eventually, if I have enough authority. Can I still get shown in the search results? Definitely. Now, where the variation takes place, all right, when we're talking about 60%, Google isn't just looking at just what you're forward-facing and showing. Google also takes into account massively, and I've shown this when I ranked in Las Vegas. I ranked number 11 for Las Vegas digital marketing for a small contest. When I did that, it was 100% duplicate content. Now, how I beat the filter was because Google's looking at the source code. So you can add a lot of variance to the wording. You can add a lot of variance to things that people aren't seeing up front by changing things, as long as there's a change within the source code. Also, let's touch back on this thought process here. So the same thing goes with citations. Citations duplicate content. That's why I highly suggest that you maybe spin or alter the description slightly And it's not generally a problem because each site is going to showcase things differently. The same goes with your press releases. Each site's layout, page structure, the page source is going to be different. That's why a lot of times the text of it will be omitted from search results, but there will still be in the search results. It's just omitted. The reason is because there's so much variance within the actual source that it's still there, but it's just omitted from the initial page. All right. So as far as best practices, when we're talking about linking out, referring to this gentleman to answer your question, like I mentioned before, you want to have at least 2 backlinks. We want to make as much variance as possible. I also like to have an embed within there, whether going to the main website, a map, or a YouTube video, so I can start passing some equity from that linking source. We're talking about a press release answering this question specifically. 2 links, one with the maybe naked going to the homepage, and also a target anchor or a partial going into the page that I actually want to rank. So I hope that I broke this down for you, answering your question regarding duplicate content, how it can affect, what am I looking at, the pages being omitted, not showing up in the forward facing, how is Google going to, how are they going to put them into the search results? I hope I answered all the questions about sorting, duplicate content, linking out, everything as far as duplicate content. My name's Chris Palmer. If you have any future questions related to duplicate content, SEO, Google SEO, anything at all, always feel free. Go ahead, ask me in the comments section below. I answer every question. If you have any questions relevant to this topic or any other, ask in the section below, and I always look forward to seeing you in the next Google SEO tips, duplicate content video. Have a blessed day. All right, I got some extra stuff here. All right, this is going to get chopped up, but I'll share it with you, or maybe we'll do it as an extra video here. I want to go ahead and greet everybody. All-purpose works. Is this really live? It's really live. Luke Scott, are you actually live today, Chris? Live every day, or is it a replay video? Nope. This is not a replay. I don't generally do that. I keep them live. You might see a video that pops up afterwards, but generally I don't really do that, like the premieres. But you'll see it in the beginning. There'll be a tick down timer. And that's how you know if it's a premiere or not, okay? Where you'll take a pre-recorded video and then put it up on YouTube as a premiere, and then it looks like it's a live. I don't really do those because they don't perform that well. But yeah, 231 in the States. Yep, 235, that's right. I was handling some business. I also have my group coaching class tomorrow, so I knew that I'm not going to be able to produce that much content for tomorrow, and I wanted to go ahead and answer this question, and I want to share something else with you as well too, for expansion of proximity, right? I know that there's one person in particular watching right now, and they asked me before I got on. I said, hey, I'll address that during the live stream right now, and then I'll take it down, okay? I have a small tip for them, and I'll share it with you. Chrissy, I'm at work watching your video. Never miss any of your live. Awesome, brother. Cool, man. Success says, what's up, Chris? Success. Great to see you. Great to have you on. Great to see you. Wish I could see you or her. I don't know. But I'm happy that you're here. All purpose says, yes, the computer's displaying a relevant time. Yep. Down here, if you take a look in my right-hand corner, it is 2:36 a.m. I'm Eastern Standard Time. I live in Pennsylvania, same as New York time. So what's up, Chris? Laugh aloud. He's live. Sorry, Chris. Oh, man, I can't stop laughing. Why is that so funny? Laugh out loud. I mean, I have work. I gotta work, man. And it just so happened that today, when I finally got done doing what I had to do, plus I had my family time. I had my little Chris time. I was with my wife, my girlfriend, actually, but my wife, basically. I had my son time. We did some learning. We did some book reading. We also went to, they're having this new thing called the Acorns at a church. So we took our son there, maybe get invested in some studying of sorts. We had an eventful little day. So yeah, I did 2 lives today. I had to make sure I put out something. I wanted to give out, at least help somebody today. So that's always the goal. So much love, fam. Yep. I hate that I don't get notifications about your live streams. I do too. Please click the, I don't ever tell people this. Like, I don't send anybody anywhere usually, and I don't tell people to subscribe or whatever, or click the bells or whatever. But if you haven't, for you, particularly, if you're not getting notifications, click the bell icon. I just let people do whatever they want. If you love it, you love it. If you don't, you don't. It's okay. I don't miss your live, Chris. Cool, bro. He gave me the dab. Hey. All right, Luke Scott. So I'm about to publish about 20 unique pages for each suburb for the same service. Shall I stagger them when I publish them? Okay, so you're going to publish 20 unique pages for each suburb. So there are unique pages for each suburb. You know, I mean, maybe do batches if you have 20. Maybe batch it out over the course of a month, right? So you could do your 5 each week, you know, so 1 each day. So why don't you just do 1 post a day leading up to that month? Well, 1 each day business, so 7-14. Yeah, so why don't you do 3 weeks, do 1 a day, right? For the next 3 weeks, post 1 a day. You know, I think that consistency plus the uploading, plus you're going to be resubmitting your XML sitemap, plus you'll be doing a webmaster crawl on your new page over on Bing. So I think that it's beneficial for a magnitude of reasons. Plus each of those, then you have a new reason. Once you run a new sitemap, you do a new post on social, on your YouTube and on Pinterest, right? You get those social signals rolling. That's a perfect opportunity to start building links in that same time frame, and maybe even send over some Facebook traffic to the new post so you can speed up the link building a little bit. I like the post a day for the next 3 weeks. I think that's your best bet. Unless you don't have the time, then just schedule them out, you know, on WordPress if you're using it. Hopefully that helps you. Bell icons are turned on long ago, but I got your live icons very end. Man, I don't know why. I'm sorry to hear that. Perfect. 1 day sounds good. Thank you. Sure. Thank you, Luke. No problem. Thanks, Chris. Great work, Kelly Mesburn. Hey, Kelly, thank you very much. Now, if you enjoyed that initial content or that initial information, I hope I answered any questions that maybe you might have had. If you enjoyed it, please thumbs up so other people can find the video, right? Aside from that, let's come on over here. All right. So for the gentleman that asked me, I know you're watching, right? I don't see you. You're not chatting, but I know you're here because I see you on Facebook. I just saw you on Facebook. Let's talk about proximity. Okay. So, you know, I know that a lot of people were speaking about the video citations being ineffective for passing rank for Google My Business listings and things along these lines. And you know, I think that that's true to an extent. But as far as establishing a very authoritative footprint for expansion of proximity, I think that it's very, very effective. So for your instance, what I would do is this. First and foremost, I would create a state-based, not spammy, but state-based. So your brand name plus state or brand name plus locale, right? So, you know, brand name, state, or state plus brand name. And inside of that, or you could just do the state and then do your service, right? So let's just say Texas, bowling alley, right? Whatever the case is. All right. So create a YouTube channel, one that's covering the state and the primary service category that's listed inside your GMB. All right. So that's step one. The next step that I would do, all right, so let me come over here, is I would figure out in your mind, okay, so there's a couple of things, all right, so, one of the first things that I would do is I would get on to your, you know, there's a magnitude of different sites out there. Get your locational based data, all right, and figure out where you want to target. But aside from that, so let's just hop into here to this map so we can get a general idea of what we're doing. Let's say we're over here in let's say we're in Bakersfield, okay? Now what I would do is, all right, so this actually has quite a bit of stuff going on. So if I'm looking at, let's say that we are somewhere in this vicinity, all right? When we're looking at this map, what I would take care of is always the same, and I told you about this previously, right? When you have that service plus state or service plus larger, like say service plus Bakersfield, and then you have all of these other areas, you know, when you're really finite on that one location, we're going to have that page, right? Like Bakersfield. Then what I would do underneath that Bakersfield, you know, depending on how your site's set up, I know how your site's set up, I'm trying to word this in a particular way, so, you know, make sure you have your Bakersfield, and then start doing these other areas. So like Oildale, Oil Junction, Lancardo. And what I would do is I would make a corresponding video, but very precisely what I would be more inclined to be doing is inside of your videos. All right, so let me just come into one so I can demonstrate for you. Inside of your videos, all right, we'll bring this one up. What I would do is I would come inside of here and say I want to go, my main location is this Valley Plaza. I need to get one here for this Vinola, okay? So we need to do, you know, drop your pin there. And when you drop your pin, what I would do is I would get my directions from here. So you're going to have your directional map. Put that on that new page that you're doing in this very particular location. The next step, so that goes on the website. The next step is you need to figure out on this, when you're on this particular page here, and the directions are going from your main locale to this locale, all right? You need to drop a pin right here. When you drop your pin, okay, what I would do is I would grab these details that are here, okay, and I would go over and I would make a, see this link here? Grab this link, and then on top of it too, you can go up here and get this link too. So that way you have two separate types of links. So you could do like a google.com/maps/search, right? Question mark, and then do the address. You basically can get 3 different URL types. Those 3 URL types need to correspond on the website. And then what I would do is I would bring them over into here. So put your 3 links plus your directional link inside of the video, inside of the main body content, and then the first comment. Okay? And then on that website, so that way they're almost corresponding. Not almost, they are corresponding. And then to take it that next step further is once you have that, the directional requests inside of there, you have your video citation here. You dropped your pin in the locale, right? And then you take this video, the whole video, and then you embed it. And if you don't want it to look dirty or whatnot with the video citation in it, so that way you complete the loop. You get what I'm saying? So that way you have the link to the map is on the site. You have the geolocations inside the video, that's embedded into the site. You have the directional quest from the main location to this location, that's in the site. You're making it as obvious as possible that not only am I here performing these services, but I'm here. And you have an authoritative account with the secondary location plus this as a main video. And then if you really want to dominate a particular area, I would go and I would make more than 2 or 3 of these videos. You get what I'm saying? I want to keep dropping the pin, but make more videos to reinforce that. And then if it's a hot area, if it's ultra hot, then take your, you know, message me or go over to Fiverr or whatever, get a low-cost worker that's going to do the initial 50. You know, your good 50. Like when you go over here to say like Moz Citations, right? You know, you could do your Moz citation checker. Inside of here, they're going to give you the list of like the 50 that almost every provider does. Like they're not necessarily niche specific, but these are the ones that you pretty much need to have. I think it's like 50 of them. Here, if you go to here to check my online presence, see how they're going to give you the, here, you could just do, say, like, Chris Palmer marketing, okay? And then, here, 18252. So let's just check this guy out. Here, 30 West Broad Street. So I'll just show you quick. So then you'll know. So see this list, see how they're coming through here and they're giving you these? Like, these are the ones that if you really, really, really need to be able to push out into that place, that's what I would do. I would get over there. So if need be, I would get over to these primary locales, these primary citation sources. I mean, this is just one list, but that would like pretty much solidify all that work that you did. So I hope that helps you out. As far as expansion of proximity, I mean, it's all about getting those digital references for those locations and then finishing the loop by having it on the website, plus having the embeds, plus having the authority sources, the videos. And then of course you're going to be sharing this on all your main socials. Primarily what I'd be sharing is that where that video citation is. So yeah, I hope that helps you out, brother. All right. I guess that's just added. It's kind of off topic for this video, but that's okay. Yep, we can go through here. Now let me get into here. All right, so let's see here. All right, so all purpose says, Chris, if I'm stuck on the third page and I've done all the on-page work and also the highest number of backlinks, so why my articles are not moving, any idea, or should I leave it? Well, it depends on how long it's been. Also, too, like, I hear that quite a bit. You know, I would make darn sure that you have the right type of page. You know, like, do you have a list post when it should be a service page? Do you have a category page when it should be a list post? Also, what's your internal linking look like? Is this blog post, is your site about jewelry, but this blog post is about, I don't know, pet jewelry? You know, like, are you semantically on point? Do you have authority? How long's the post been up? Are you internally linking? Are you building links with the proper anchor text compared to the competitors? You know, there's a lot of factors here. Without me seeing it, these are my best answers that I can give you, my friend. So I hope that helps you out, my friend. Hello, all purpose. If you're dealing with affiliate blogs, there's competitors using PBNs and building 200 links per day for one blog. Tested it. Ranking near to them is black hat or call it gray hat. Okay, quick question, brother. Would it be a waste of time to make a page for blank SEO company as well as blank SEO agency? Would that hurt my SEO overall if I'm trying to rank for both agency and company? Well, no, because if you take a look, so SEO company, wow, I'm actually surprised by this. You know, I wouldn't put them both inside of my title tag, but I don't see anything. I'm surprised that they're not semantically related down here and related. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's off. I wouldn't go putting agency and company inside my main title tag, but I do think, like, say we're tuned inside of the title, the H1 and the URL for agency. I don't see anything wrong that within maybe a heading tag like an H2 or an H3 that you put company. Company, or at least within the body content. And then also, too, if you don't want to put it in the body content to throw anything off, like say you're really targeting the bigger, higher volume, higher cost per click acquisition type keyword, then perhaps you can also send in the word company or SEO company as an anchor text to give that relevance to the site or the page. So these are just some options for you. I wouldn't be terribly over obsessed with it, but I certainly would not put company and agency in the title. I would target the one and go after that. You know, I do see a lot of larger brands targeting, say, digital marketing services or digital marketing agency, and then internet marketing agency, digital marketing company, internet marketing company. You know, a site that I'm probably going to be modeling pretty close. Thrive does it pretty, pretty prominently, and they're doing very well. So, but I think authority plays a lot into this. So hopefully that helps you out, my friend. All right, so Nifil says, personally, I try Black Hat to rank affiliate blog, keeping in mind that website gets penalized after some time, but revenue generated already if you're concerned about your website being penalized. Phil says, does Chris Palmer love chocolate? I do. I do like chocolate. You know what else I love? I love testing, right? I spend a lot of time trying out new thoughts, new ideas, testing stuff out. And I've been really pondering this for a long time. I even had a site for a short period of time. I had a small mastermind called SEOtesters.com, right? About 10 members, and we were doing that. In any case, I fell off of the idea because it's not that I like testing broad stuff. I really like local business, Google My Business, and Google Maps. So I'm thinking, that's what I'm going to lean more towards. And I don't like this super finite type testing. I like actual in the niche, in the wild testing. Demonstrate an idea, see if it has and performs and has a benefit, taking ideas, implementing them, really inside of Maps, Google My Business, and in local type markets. I know it's a much smaller market, but I think that these things greatly impact the actual business owner. So that's really where I want to be at, So with that being said, I think we're going to start moving into more testering and mastermind type things. And I'm really excited about it. I think that's what I want to lean more towards. But let's answer some questions here. I was actually inspired by another group that I'm in. So I think I'm going to maybe take the model, not the same model, but I really like the platform that they're using. I like how it's set up and laid out. It fits everything, my vision of what I couldn't put together manually. So I really like that it fits everything. Like I can have my trainings, I can have a community, I can do the testings, I can do one-on-one lives, I could do my coaching, I could do everything right there. I can offer services, training, everything all under one roof, plus have a community. Oh, it's got everything that I need, and I'm super excited. Also, I spoke with Mr. Craig Campbell, and he gave me the green light, so I'm pretty happy about, I've had this idea for quite some time, and I figured that who better to do an affiliate training with than Craig Campbell. So I had the idea of an interactive training program. It's interactive from start till finish, everything from the topic idea all the way to the domain buying, the planning of the website, like what niches, how much content to post, what kind of backlinks, like everything from beginning till end. It's interactive, literally the whole thing. Instead of like recordings with like slides, like your typical really boring training that's hours and hours and hours, it's literally like everything. I have a great idea, and I think we're going to move forward with it. I'm putting those things into motion at SEOmastermind.org. SEOmastermind.org. That's going to be the new domain. That's where we're going to hold a lot of stuff. That's really what we're going to be rocking out with. So SEOmastermind.org, be on the lookout, my friends. I'm thinking of a lot of Google My Business, Google Maps testing, in the wild testing ideas, group testing. Also going to be doing training programs. I hate the word courses, so I'm not courses. Very individualized training programs that are hyper focused on affiliate and local. Those are the two things that I do, and that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? I want to be able to try cool stuff out that I'm doing, and I want to show it. That's it. So yeah, that's what I want to do, and I hope that everybody likes that idea as much as I do. Hey, Chris, hope you're having a good night. I am unknown user. Question, when creating content with a method, do you think it is more beneficial to create one big article with anchored jump links or create separate pages per topics. So if they're all hyper related, I think it's really good to have one large article with jump links, or maybe like a table of contents up at the top, even along the sidebar. I think it depends on the topic, also what Google's currently ranking for those particular keywords that you're targeting. And does it make sense to have a 5,000 or 6,000 word article that's hyper long? Like, is it worth you dominating that large, or should it be broken up? Are they really separate topics? So these are a lot of concepts that you'll probably need to go through when you're doing your initial keyword research and competitive analysis. But other than that, I think you'll be perfectly fine. I like long and I like separate, but you'll have to come to that realization after you're doing your competitive analysis, looking at what's currently winning for these keyword sets. Can they fit together? Are they related keywords? Are they, people also ask, are they suggested, right? Like, do they fit? Are they semantically correct to be one post? And is it worth it to you, right? Because you still need to tune that page for one primary, so just keep that in mind. All right, so all purpose says, on the topic of duplicate content, this is unknown user right here. So on the topic of duplicate content, in the same night should be penalized if the content is similar but not identical. Okay, so on the topic of duplicate content, would it be penalized if content is similar but not identical? Okay, so on the topic of duplicate content, would a site in the same niche be penalized if the content is similar but not identical? So penalization can come in two forms, right? So you have your algorithmic, and then you're going to have your manual. Do I think it's going to be manual? Not so much. Do I think that a algorithmic penalty could arise? Definitely. Like, you could be doing a lot of work to the page and it just won't move. I've ran across this countless times. That these are the two things that happen. So could it be penalized? Not in a malicious 500 way, right? But in a algorithmic way where it's just not getting that oomph that it needs over the course of time, you could run into trouble, right? A lot of times not, as long as you can change enough variance within the page, and that could be structuring to the source code to the actual body content. All right, so I am not overly concerned with that usually. Why does Google show different results which are slightly related to the topic of the keyword that has been searched? Why does Google show different results which are slightly related to the topic of keyword that has been searched? So I think that Google is showing you different type title tags, or slightly different answers. And the reason is because they're trying to answer the searcher's intent. So the searcher's intent to them, remember, we're dealing with an algorithm. The searcher's intent, by what they're searching, the actual keyword, it might have different varying meanings or different varying answers. So you see this quite often. Like, you're thinking, to you, this seems like they're totally different results. But to somebody else, they might get to that and say, oh, this is number 2 is actually perfect. The third result was perfect for me based on the searcher's intent, right? Now, depending upon the click-through, the time on the site and these types of metrics, like user metrics, is going to determine that top position, that top 2 positions, plus authority plays a part. But really, at the end of the day, I think that they're showing you varying results, but they're relatively similar based on the searcher's intent. It's going to vary slightly, right? Because they want to satisfy everybody. That's their objective. So hopefully that helps you. Cheers, Chris. Cheers to you. Success. Company is the big one usually. Yep. I bought your indexing methods with Chris Palmer course, by the way. Money in the Bank for sure. Very helpful training program, especially at that cost. I mean, that's very effective stuff for a very, very low cost. Yep. That's always my objective, my friend. All right. So I guess I'm going to hop off. I'm feeling a bit, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to go ahead and address that question. tomorrow's training day, so I wanted to make sure I had some content out for the day. I signed up for your Pepper Type and Writer, but I still think Jarvis has the edge over them both. Yeah, hey, these are just I didn't use the Writer, but I did use the Outranking and I used Pepper Type. I mean, they're still based on GPT-3. Outranking has a little bit added bonus to it. But again, I mean, nothing beats. I'm seeing some really crazy tools right now. I have a content writer right now that has something even better, even better. But he's not selling. So I don't know what he's trying. I think he's trying to sell it to the company in which he's using is what I think he's trying to do. For a much larger payday instead of selling the content or selling anything else. I think he's selling the content as proof of concept so he can actually sell it to the company that he's utilizing for the optimization. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I see that as a good out. Okay, so I predicted the move after the first moment. Look at the comments after the first video together. I think I'm right on. Am I wrong? Okay, so I predicted the move after the first moment. Look at the comments after the first video. Okay. I'm not sure what you're speaking of, my friend. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Kelly. So would it be worth creating a separate page subdomain to attempt ranking for the keyword blanket? So would it be worth creating a separate page or subdomain? Yeah, I don't see anything wrong. I mean, subdomain can be helpful, if you have the budget. In the long run, it can be very beneficial. As far as retaining a lot of authority, if you don't have budget, you might not want to go subdomain. Just build a location-based lander. And I hope that helps you out. So that's it for me. I'm very, very hungry. I'm going to go lay down. I have to have something light because I shouldn't go to bed and eat. It's been nothing but a pleasure. I'm glad that I can help you out today. Be on the lookout for the new mastermind. It's going to be SEOmastermind.org organization. I'm going to be primarily focusing on Google Maps, local. We're going to be doing affiliate. I think affiliate and local and maps are really my cup of tea. But a lot of trying things out, testing and sharing within a community-based outlet, also offering, something, a segment that I'll call People Want to Know, or SEOs Want to Know, perhaps, where we can answer questions, because I'll have a free or a complimentary platform. I've been looking for something like that. If you go to there's forums out there, and a lot of these popular forums like Black Hat World use Xeno, Xeno. It's like a forum-based thing, and I tried that out, but it just didn't have that element that I was looking for. I love this live element of this platform right here. I really, really like it. So yeah, I think we're gonna do something very, very similar. I've been inspired by the gentleman at IMG, and we're gonna run with it. I think it's excellent. I like the community-based. I like being able to help within a community. I think it's excellent. I love the community aspect of it. I think it's, bar none, the best way to do things, for sure. I love it. I absolutely love it. Good night, brother. Good night, guys and gals. Good night, Kelly. Good night, everybody. Guys, gals, thank you all so much. Many blessings to you. Enjoy your tomorrow. I'll see you then. Have a good one. Goodbye.